Hi, I'm Duncan with the Berkeley Fire Department. Today we're going to talk about wildfire preparation and defensible space inspections. You may see Berkeley Fire Department ambassadors in the hills knocking on doors in an effort to help Berkeley residents understand defensible space and home hardening. Defensible space is the buffer you create between a building on your property and the grass, trees, shrubs, or any wildland area that surround it. Many homes in Berkeley need to establish defensible space. If you live in Berkeley, you need to review and, when necessary, incorporate these defensible space guidelines on your property. There are zones within the Berkeley city limits that are considered high and very high fire hazard zones. Compliance to these state and local fire codes are necessary to protect your home and the greater community. It's important to understand that during a wildfire, embers are the leading cause of home ignition. The winds that blow during wildfires push embers far in advance of the main body of fire. A home's siding and roof can ignite from embers alone, increasing the risk of ignition beyond the areas where the ground fire is located. The things that we each do individually are going to make our homes safer, our families safer, and therefore the community around us safer. We're truly in this together. It takes each one of us to work together to make the city of Berkeley more fire safe. We divide defensible space into 3 zones: Zone 0, Zone 1, and Zone 2. Zone 0 is directly from your structure, so 0 feet to 5 feet from the structure. Zone 1 is up to 30 feet from the structure. Zone 2 is up to 100 feet from the structure or all the way to your property line, whichever distance is closest. So in Zone 0, 0 to 5 feet, we're looking to remove all combustibles, so to clear it as much as possible. So that means no combustible ground cover, including woody mulch, bark, needles, and leaves. Hardscapes like pavers, concrete, gravel, and other non-combustible ground coverings are recommended. We're also looking for you to remove all dead and dying weeds, grass, plants, shrubs, leaves, needles, cones, and to check your roofs and gutters, decks and porches, and stairways. Some trees and plants are allowed in Zone 0. Check with an inspector if you have questions about a specific tree or plant. All trees in this zone need to be trimmed so that they are 6 feet above the roof ridgeline and 10 feet away from any chimneys or stovepipe outlets. Remove all vegetation or climbing vines from a home or structure, or any vegetation within 5 feet of those structures. We're trying to eliminate anything that might be a ladder from dead or dying vegetation to your home. Wooden fences are common in Berkeley. We're actually recommending now that people use metal fences if possible, or at least the part that actually attaches to the house. Consider relocating garbage and recycling containers outside of Zone 0. Please also remember, no understory vegetation is allowed in Zone 0. So Zone 1 is what we call the lean, clean, and green zone. In Zone 1, it's okay to have a beautiful garden. But what we're asking people to do is to make sure that the garden they do have is lean and green, and that they remove any of the dead and dying vegetation. Relocate wood piles to Zone 2, which is beyond 30 feet up to 100 feet. If you relocate your firewood pile to Zone 2 of your property, please ensure that it is not positioned within any of your neighboring structures' Zone 1. Remove vegetation and items that could catch fire from around and under decks, balconies, and stairs. Create a separation between trees, shrubs, and items that could catch fire, like patio furniture, wood piles, swing sets, etc. So when we talk about defensible space, you'll often hear us talk about vertical space or ladder fuels. What we're talking about there is removing vegetation that can connect from the ground to the trees. One thing you can do is reduce this ladder fuel by removing tree limbs within 6 feet of the ground. Cutting or mowing annual grass down to a maximum height of 4 inches. Creating horizontal space between shrubs and trees. And you can remove any plants or vegetation that might connect the ground to those trees to your home. So for many of our residents in Berkeley, there may not appear to be a Zone 2. State law has declared that defensible space, including Zone 2, extends to 100 feet from the structure or to your property line, whichever is closest. And what we're looking for in Zone 2, if you have one, is to do as much fuel reduction as you can. Again, trying to keep your plants and your trees lean and green, and removing all dead and dying vegetation. Wood piles must be covered with an approved non-combustible cover, or have 10 feet of bare soil in all directions. It's really important to understand that this is a community effort. Every single one of us has to participate in this in order for the entire city to be safe. If you have any questions or want to learn more about the Wildland Urban Interface Program, please visit berkeleyfiresafe.org.